Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a unboxing, setup, and review on the Lipuls 200 amp hour Lifepo4 battery. Now, I've done reviews and tests for Lipuls in the past on their 100 amp hour mini Lifepo4 and on their 100 amp hour full-size Lifepo4. And I had really good results with them. So they decided to send me a 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery to try and do a review on it. So I said, yeah, because I really do like their products. So far, I mean, I'm using 2 of their batteries in my battery bank, and I've had excellent results. So I expect no less from this. For full disclosure, they did provide me this battery free of charge. So, but if it's no good, I'm not going to like it, then I will tell you, and I'll be more than happy to give them back the battery. But I don't expect that's going to happen. All right, so let's unbox it. It's the shipping weight is 50 pounds. So it is heavy. It's a big boy. It is the equivalent of 2 100 amp hour lithium batteries combined into one. So let me lift this out of here. There you go. It's well packaged in styrofoam. And it arrived in good shape. So they did send some extra M4 bolts. It's been nicely wrapped. All right. So these terminals are just extras. There you go. All right. Oh, it is a 200 amp BMS. So that's good. So this can supply 200 amps over 1 hour or 100 amps over 2 hours, so on and so forth. So for some reason, I thought it was only a 100 amp BMS module, but it's a 200 amp. So perfect. So it will give you 2,560 watt hours of power, if you want to think in that terms. I always like to think in terms of amp hours, 200 amp hours. The pros to this is that instead of having to take 2 100 amp hour batteries and putting them in parallel and to try and balance them, it's like having 2 of those batteries built in together with one BMS taking control over both of them. So this is a better way to go versus all the individual batteries. All right, so what we'll do is I'm going to install this in the trailer and use it in place of my other batteries. I have 500 amp hour worth of batteries in there. They're all 100 amp hour batteries. two of them of which are Lipuls batteries. So I'm going to install this in there, let the solar system fully charge it up before we begin our tests. And I will do testing like I did with the other ones under real life conditions and really putting it to the extremes. So, so I'm pretty excited about this. And if this works out well, this will replace two of my batteries. All right. So these are M8 terminals. And I said it comes with a couple of extras. The nominal voltage is 12.8 volts with a capacity of 200 amp hours. It has a 200 amp BMS module, which is your battery management system. So it's like having two 100 amp hour batteries in parallel already, all in one nice package, one BMS module to handle it, which is better because then we can get a better balancing between each of these cells, where when you're running individual batteries, you can get a little discrepancies. I haven't had any issues with my current setup, but this is the preferred way. It's over to having two 100 amp hour batteries, have one 200 amp hour batteries. Now you can put up to 4 of these in parallel. Optimally, to get full charge onto this, you need a charger that can go up to 14.6 volts. A standard charger that is not designed for lithium batteries will not bring this up to 100% capacity. But my solar system will, because that's set to 14.6 volts. The batteries are not shipped fully charged. They're anywhere from half charge to only about 30% charge. That's by law, they can only ship it that way. They can't ship it fully charged. So before we do any of our testing, I got to fully charge this. Its weight is actually 52 pounds. So the individual or 100 amp hour lithium batteries typically are 25, 26 pounds. So it's, like I said, it's like having two batteries in one package. So perfect, except where you have a 200 amp BMS instead of individual 100 amp BMS modules. So it's, I love the lithium batteries. You can discharge them all the way down to the last few percent. BMS module will cut you off before it gets too low, so we don't damage the cells. These batteries should last at least 5 years, being cycled every day. The actual life cycles on these, it gives you a 10-year life expectancy on these. This has built-in short circuit protection. If you exceed 200 amps for like 600 microseconds, it will shut it down and to protect the battery. So you can't short circuit it, you can't over discharge it. So it's great. If you discharge this fully, 100%, well, it won't let you quite hit 100%. The BMS will stop it. But at 100% depth of discharge, you get 4,000 cycles out of this battery, which is really good. All right, so we're about 20 inches wide here, 8.6 inches tall, and the depth going this way is 9.4 inches. So it's a pretty heavy duty battery, let me tell you. All right, so we're going to install this and then fully charge it, and then we'll put it through its paces over the next few days. Okay, so here's the setup. All right, so there you have it. 200 amp hour Lipuls battery. The load is the 2500 watt inverter, working with the HQST solar system. And what I got here is the temperature monitor probes for both the WonVon, and that's what I'm using to measure voltage and current over time, is the WonVon meter. But it also monitors temperature, and so does the solar controller. This way, if we do run into an overtemp situation, it will shut down. So then we don't have to rely on the battery to shut it down. Now, I did run the battery on the system, on the solar system, for about a week before doing the actual test. So I've been cycling the battery up and down. So I purposely did that to make sure that the battery is working at its full capacity. Kind of like, you know, breaking them in a little bit. I just wanted to see that it worked in the trailer without any problems. So I did that all before conducting the test. So I started off by clearing all the data, and then the thing to watch is the total amp hours in the bottom left, and then the instantaneous current draw. At one point it did hit 202 amps, did not trip the BMS on the battery to shut down. So you can truly draw 200 amps from this battery with that 200 amp BMS module. So to save time, I'm going to cut this up and then go straight to the end here. So there you go. The battery put out 207 amps. But the battery didn't actually shut down. The inverter shut down. All right, so there you go. The battery actually supplied over 200 amp hours. It supplied 207.2 amp hours. And like I said, the battery didn't actually shut down. The inverter did, due to the voltage dropping down to about 10.4 volts. So I think the battery performed very well. All right, so let's go over the pros and cons of this battery. So first we'll do the pros. Number one, I like the fact that it is a 200 amp BMS and that it can actually supply 200 amps of current without a problem. It has over voltage protection, under voltage protection. It has over current protection. It has over temperature protection. The other pros is it's relatively lightweight. I mean, it's basically it's the equivalent of two 100 amp hour lithium batteries, and it weighs 52 pounds. That's about a third of what it would be for lead acid batteries with the same amount of capacity. Now, the advantage with the lithium battery, of course, is that you can discharge it just about all the way without damaging the battery. It has a 5-year warranty. It is good for at least 4,000 full cycles with 100% depth of discharge. Now, if you only discharge it to 50%, then you'll get well over 10,000 cycles of charging. So the only cons that I can think of is that it does not have low temperature cutoff. So you need to be careful if you're using this in an environment where you'll hit freezing temperatures. A battery needs to be installed where it's heated, or you would need to install some kind of heating pads in the compartment with the battery to keep it from freezing. It would take quite a bit to get this to freeze because of the chemical process that takes place within the battery. But if the battery were to freeze and you are trying to charge the battery, you'll just ruin it. So that is the only real con to it. It's a nice package. It performed well for me. Like I said, I ran it up to 202 amps, and the battery performed well. I've been using this battery for a number of weeks now too. This is not like I just did a single test. I've been running this, cycling it through, putting it through its paces, and it's worked out well. I have the other Lipuls batteries that they've given me to try and use, and I've had the one battery for a year now and still works perfectly. So I like them. So I do give this battery a big thumbs up. The other pro to this is that these batteries are relatively inexpensive compared to some other brands out there. I know I won't mention the brand names, but some batteries for a 100 amp hour battery, Lifepo4, you can pay $800 to $1,000 for. This is like 1/3 the cost of those batteries. So I think it's a good deal. All right, that would be it for today. I 100% approve of this battery. I like it, and I'm going to incorporate it into my battery bank and see how it does overall with the batteries. As you know, I've been mixing and matching. I've been mixing batteries anyway, as long as they're all the same chemistry, and so it works out pretty good. So, all right, until next time, happy camping, and bye now.